Okay, but when does that unlock, right? Because, there's this whole idea, once I'm a millionaire, but what does being a millionaire really mean in this country?
Not what it was 20 years ago.
Well, and so, you go back to 1975, $100,000 of 1975 is, or $169,000 from 1975 is about $1 million today.
I can believe that. That sounds about
I don't
right.
know exactly the numbers.
I can remember when cigarettes were $1. I mean, they're not, there's
it's
all these
almost become the
taxes.
new six-figure salary. If you're making $1 million salary, it's very close to where people hey, I just need to get that six-figure salary.
$1 million is a lot of money, but
a million. The way I like to look at our economy, and this isn't new as of January this year, as a lot of people like to make it out, that it's just as difficult, if not more difficult than ever, to make $1 million in this country. But what's not so arguable is it goes much less of a distance than it ever has before.
Well, I don't know that it's any more difficult or less difficult.
Or just as difficult.
Or just as difficult. I mean, inflation has changed all the numbers.
Yeah.
So whatever you were doing 50 years ago, add some zeros to it, and with the right number of zeros, it'll be equivalent. But I don't know exactly what that is. I don't think it's any easier or harder in some ways, just in looking at the numbers. I think it's in many ways easier to start a business today.
I agree. Yep.
Because you have all the technology that lets you bypass a lot of the stuff that we had to pay for to get things started back in the day. We had...
for service-based businesses, yes.
Yeah, and even for...
I would say for true technology businesses.
Even for manufacturing. If
yes,
it was
3D printers, yes. We're able to make parts that would, in hours or days, that would have taken months or at the very least weeks if we had local suppliers.
Or new materials that can do things that you couldn't do these things with. Or I don't have to go to a printer and print ink on paper and then go to the post office and send all these packages through the mail to get to your door so you can read what I wrote and read the ads that he sold. I can do that without the print machine, was bigger than a building.
Yeah,
it was in a huge warehouse.
Right.
And it costs a lot of money to run that, and the post office costs a lot of money to take your thing and whatever it was and drive it to every single house or office on the route. I skip all that now.
Yep.
I don't need any of that. I can get my message to you instantly.
Right.
All I need is a computer.
Yeah.
And when we started a internet business in the old company, in the company we sold in 99, 98, it was a point of sale for the sporting goods industry. We had to buy a lot of computers. We had to buy a room full of computers back then because that was the only way to do it. Now I don't have to buy anything. I can lease computer time from the cloud, from where Amazon, Microsoft, Google. I don't have to put that capital into the business. I can use that capital to do other things and just lease the computer time I need for even a high capacity product. And that's why you've got all these AI developers now, and why people like Amazon are making a lot more money from AWS than they are from selling
retail
books and shoes and whatever, cosmetics and whatever, to the whole world.
I'm sorry, AWS?
Amazon Web Services.
Oh,
so
okay.
Basically all their data center infrastructure and all their software that they have running within the computers in those data centers or servers within those data centers.
And that's their main source of profitability. They don't make a lot of money selling you books or
Yeah, Jeff
Whatever.
Bezos had to be sold on
Whatever.
that idea as well. He was pitching, and he was like, whatever, And then little did he know they got a 7-year head start, really ahead of Microsoft, Google, before they start really pushing their cloud services in the way they were.
And now anybody that has a lot of computer capacity that they've had to build up because that was their business has now learned that they can lease
Now you
time
just
on
have to
that.
be okay dependent on a third party, right? Which we've seen in some businesses, they get pulled from the Amazon Web Services and all these providers. And so it's a catch-22. And like, hey, is it better to get started? But then is it really better to get to scale? I would still say yes, but again, there's different
Or
challenges.
can you create something that's portable
Right.
between the different vendors?
Well, a
So-
lot of the times they'll actually get in unison, like social media platforms.
Yeah.
If they're banning someone, oftentimes they'll like coordinate amongst the others and
Yeah,
deplatform you.
they got a place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Oracle has now built up a big business in that, and it's been
Yep.
they've been, their stock
Larry
has been
Ellison's
going-
doing well. Yeah.
Yeah, well enough that his son could buy CBS.
I didn't even know that. I'm just very familiar with.
This whole transaction that you see with CBS and Paramount.
Okay, I did hear about the Paramount and then
CBS and Paramount are
merging.
well, they're part of one holding
Okay.
that is being sold to a company called Skyview. I think it's Skyview.
Skydance,
Skydance,
which I think is TikTok. Is
and
that
that's run by Larry Ellison's son,
right? Okay. Yeah.
and that's the company that fired or is firing Colbert
Yeah.
Yeah.
because is it because of a political thing or because
They're losing $40 million
business is
a year.
losing $40 million a
Which
year.
do you think it is?
Yes, I think both.
I think yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Both. That's
even-
fine.
even-
Yeah, that's
even-
that's the right answer.
even if his politics was exactly what I wanted, even
40 million is 40
even
million.
multi-billionaires get tired of losing $40 million a year at some point.
Yeah.
So, you have to figure out what works best for your company.
Well.